Welcome everyone to this lesson. We will start in this lesson by talking about the single phase, half wave, uncontrolled rectifiers with an R load. We will explain what does this even mean. So this is a circuit that we are talking about in this lesson, or we are going to explain, and in the next lessons we will have several examples and different definitions regarding rectifiers. So first, single phase, half wave, uncontrolled rectifiers are load. What does this mean? Number one, single phase. What does this mean? It means that our source that we would like to convert into DC is a single phase source with one phase and neutral. Number two, what does uncontrolled mean? Uncontrolled, it means that we are going to use uncontrolled power electronic switches that we are talked about in the first section for the power electronics course. So uncontrolled here, we are referring to diodes which are uncontrolled and we cannot control them. Number three, what does half wave mean? Half wave means that the AC voltage to DC voltage is converted in only half cycle of the main voltage. What I mean by this, if you look at like something like this, you have the AC supply, and if you use a half wave uncontrolled circuit, you will have something like this. During the positive half, we will be able to pass this positive half, and we will block the negative part. So we will have positive 0, and so on. So as you can see here, we only, since it is half wave, it means that only half of the sine wave is converted into DC. So we allowed the first half and we blocked the other half. So we used only or converted only half of these waves. Number four, what does R load mean? R load, it means that our circuit or our single phase is connected to an R load, a purely resistive load. So let's translate all of these sentences in just one diagram. Number one, single phase, a single phase source, AC. Number two, uncontrolled, we have only one diode, very simple circuit. Number three, R load, as you can see here, a purely resistive load. So by using this circuit, you will be able to convert AC like this into a rectification or a rectified out voltage. This voltage is a voltage across the resistance, which is positive only and negative blocked. Okay, now let's understand how does this circuit even work. So what happens exactly? This circuit is similar to this one. So during the positive half cycle of the input voltage. Now remember, this is our diode, right? And what we learned before is that the current flows in the same direction of this diode. Simple, right? So the direction or the diode itself is looking to the right side, like this, to this side. So it means that the current, this diode allows the current to flow from here to like this in this direction, right? Similar to this direction of this arrow or the symbol of the diode itself. So you can see that the voltage of the diode is positive, negative voltage across the diode, as we learned it in the first section. Now what happens during the positive cycle? Okay, so during the positive cycle, what happens exactly? You can see that during the positive cycle, here we will have positive, negative, right? So the voltage here will be positive. So this positive, which is voltage here positive, and this negative is connected to like this to here, like this, right? So the positive is connected to the positive of the diode and negative is connected to the negative, right? During this positive cycle. So what do you think what will happen? This diode, since it has a positive voltage across it, let's just assume for now that this diode is ideal. Okay, for simplicity, ideal, it means that it V forward is equal to 0. So it just require any positive voltage, it will start operating. Okay, so V forward is equal to 0, so it means starting from this point it will start conduction. So this diode will become a short circuit like this during the positive cycle, because it has a positive voltage drop or positive voltage across it. Okay, now when this one becomes a short circuit, what do you think is the voltage on the output? So if you apply a KVL in this loop, you will find that the V supply is equal to the voltage across the resistor. So we have our source like this sine wave with a maximum value of Vm. As you can see here, V output during the positive cycle here, V output is equal to V supply. So as you can see, during positive cycle, it is similar to it, right? From 0 to pi. Starting from pi or 180, the sine wave is reversed. Okay, so I think now you understand this part. Okay, due to the positive conduction, this one has the same voltage similar to the supply. What about the negative cycle? During the negative cycle, you will have, or the polarity of the supply will be reversed. Okay, the polarity will be reversed. Negative, it means that this one will become positive and this one will become negative. Here the supply is reversed, okay, during the positive cycle. So the positive is connected here to the diode and negative is connected here, right? So as you can see, the voltage here is now applied in the reverse direction. So what will happen to the diode? The diode will be working in the blocking mode, right? In the blocking mode as we learned before. Why? Because it is reverse biased. So since it is reverse biased, it will become an open circuit. So our circuit during the negative cycle will be like this. Like this. Open circuit. Like this. And resistance. So since the diode is an open circuit, what is the current flowing through the circuit? The current will be equal to 0. So the voltage across the resistor will be also equal to 0. So in this part, the diode will block. So as you can see here, equal to 0. Okay, so it allows only during the positive and block during the negative. Okay, very easy. Now what about the current? So as you can see here in this circuit, during conduction, when D1 is in the forward mode, you will see it will become a short circuit like this. It will be a short circuit. So the current of the supply, IS, which is the supply current, will be equal to similar to the current going to the load. Now during the blocking mode, IS will be equal to 0, which is similar to the load current, which is equal to 0. So what is the benefit of this? I would like to just clarify or want you to remember that the current of the supply is equal to the load current in this circuit. Okay, remember this. So what is the supply current? If you would like to find the current going through the circuit, it will be simply equal to, during the conduction, it will be V output, voltage across the resistor, divided by the resistor, which is V supply divided by the resistor. Okay, V supply divided by the resistor. So as you can see, current starting from 0 goes to maximum and goes down. So you can see it has the same waveform, similar to the previous, similar to the supply and similar to the voltage across the load. So this value, which is the maximum value of the current I max, will be equal to Vm which is the maximum voltage of the supply, divided by the resistance. This resistance can be the R load, or it can be R load plus the resistance across the diode, if the diode has a resistance, if it is non-ideal, or if we consider it as a non-ideal diode. Okay, so this is the explanation of what I just said regarding the positive and negative cycle. Now what about the voltage across the diode? Voltage across the diode. So during the positive cycle, it is short circuit, right? So when it is a short circuit, the voltage across it will be ideally, okay, equal to 0. Why? Because it is ideally a short circuit. However, in reality, there will be a V forward, like for example, 0.7 volt as an example. So in this case, we will make this in this waveform. We will just make it like this, a constant value of 0.7. Okay, if it is non-ideal, here I'm assuming that it is ideal, so it will be 0. Now during the negative cycle, this voltage, all of the voltage of the supply will go to the blocking diode. So the voltage across the blocking diode during the blocking mode will be equal to the supply. All of this voltage is going to this open circuit. Okay, that's why you can see this negative part, voltage of the supply, is equal to the voltage across the diode. Okay, if you don't understand it, it's very easy. If you just apply, let's just delete all of this to help you understand this part. You can see that, let's say we have the supply here, and we are talking about the diode during the blocking mode. Here diode. Okay, so it will be open circuit, right? The voltage of the diode is plus minus, okay, and we have here the resistance, right? So during the blocking mode, if you apply like this, okay, plus minus, this is the general signs, okay? So if you apply here a KVL, you will find that voltage drop across the resistor is equal to 0, and V diode minus Vs will be equal to 0 by applying this KVL. If you don't know about KVL, you have to go, of course, to the electric circuits course. So Vd will be equal to Vs. Voltage across the diode will be equal to the voltage of the supply during the blocking mode. So the voltage of the supply is this part, negative, right? Negative sign. That's why diode, has the same value of negative. Okay, I think it is pretty clear right now. Now let's understand some important values that we need to get. Number one, we need to get the average value of the output voltage, V average of the output voltage. Now why is this? Because the average value of voltage or current of any waveform representing the equivalent DC value. For example, if you look at this wave, this is a pure sine wave, and pure AC waveform. If you try to get the average of this wave, you see that the positive is equal to negative. That's why DC is equal to 0, because DC representing average. Now this is the output waveform, this one for the voltage and this one for the current. If you get the average value of voltage and the average value of current, you are simply getting the equivalent DC value of voltage and DC value of current, which I'm concerned with. So we have our waveform Vs supply, Vmax sine omega t. Remember, this one is Vmax, sometimes or maximum value. Sometimes in the problem it is given as Vrms. So in this case you will take Vrms and multiply it by root 2 to get the maximum value. as you already know from circuits. Now what is the output value or the average value? It will be, let's just delete all of this. For the voltage here, it will be 1 over T, the average of the whole period from 0 to 2 pi. That's why 1 over T is equal to 1 over 2 pi, the whole period. After it, it will repeat itself like this, 0, like this, and 0. So it repeats itself every 2 pi. Okay, so 1 over 2 pi integration from 0 to T, which is the whole period from 0 to 2 pi, right? However, if you look at this waveform, you will find that we have integration from 0 to pi with a certain value. However, from pi to 2 pi is equal to 0. So we don't need to integrate this part. It is already clear that it is equal to 0. For this part of integration from 0 to pi, 0 to pi, for the waveform, which is the input sine wave, Vmax sine omega t with respect to d omega t. Now if you integrate this waveform, you will get Vmax over pi. Okay, this is the integration with the simple steps. This one will give us Vmax over pi after doing the mathematical steps. So what do we learn from this? That the average value or the DC value of the output voltage is equal to the maximum value of the supply divided by pi. Okay, now this is for what? For what load? For R load. This is pretty important as we have RL, we have different loads that we are going to see. So as you can see, V average will be Vmax over pi. What about current average? It is very simple. You can see it is similar to this waveform, however divided by R. So as you can see, I average will be V average over R. Okay. Now what about the root mean square? Another value which is very important is the root mean square value or the effective value. So first root, as you can see here, root and mean means average 1 over t integration from 0 to t of the waveform d omega t. However, we have here mean square. Square, it means square of the waveform. Vmax sine omega t all square. So what I'm going here is that I'm applying this root mean square to this waveform, which is integration from 0 to pi, similar to the average, but the difference is that we have here square and we have the square root. If you do this mathematical formula, you will get Vmax over 2. So we have now Vmax over 2 representing root mean square value of the output voltage, and V average which is equal to V average, which is equal to Vmax over pi. Now what about root mean square current? It will be voltage over current over the resistance. So it will be Vrms over R, which is Vmax over 2R. Vmax over 2R. Vmax over 2, this part is the Vrms. Now the final thing that we would like to get is the average power absorbed by the resistor. Average power absorbed by the resistor. Power is equal to voltage multiplied by current, right? So we can get the amount of power absorbed by the resistance here by using the RMS square multiplied by R, or Vrms square divided by R.